celebrants and our new residents. Helen, do you want to start? If you'd like to come up here, you can, or you do it in front.
Okay. Now is it on?
Yes.
Okay. First, I'm going to do the birthdays. I hope somebody is here. Okay, the birthdays today is tomorrow on Valentine's Day is Margaret Wu. Are you here, Margaret? No. And Alan Huey is on the 15th. And Sam Liu, is he here? He's on the 16th. So if any were here, we could sing, but no sense in singing. So as we see them around, just tell them happy birthday. Can you imagine having a birthday on Valentine's Day? That would be very special. Okay, so tonight I have the privilege of introducing one of our new residents. This is Virginia Huey, and she lives in the new house, the 719 that we were waiting for to get fixed. So she's in the back of that house. So she's been here for 3 months. So she moved in on the 13th day of November, and here it is, the 13th of February. She moved here from Monterey Park, so she's nice and local, so she doesn't have to change doctors and all of that stuff like we have had to do. Now, Virginia is a local gal, born and raised in Los Angeles area. And so she went to school here, and she got her business administration degree from Cal State Los Angeles. Yeah. Virginia has been a computer programmer in insurance and finance. And so she started off with computers when it was a mainframe. And she's been involved with all the changes. We're going from punch cards and tapes and all of that stuff. Those that you know about that. Isn't that something how things have progressed so quickly, and now almost everybody's got a PC, and they're small and easy to use. So as far as family, Virginia has one brother in San Clemente, and she has a niece who's living in the house that her brother and she own. And she has 2 nieces and 1 nephew and many cousins. So she's well loved and local. Her interests, she likes to watch TV, she likes to read, and she likes to travel. And one of the places that she's been has been Jordan and Israel. Another one was a safari in South Africa. Mm. And she plans to do a trip to Britain this year and also to Thailand. And she's involved in the exercise classes, the ones that Susan gives, and Tai Chi and line dancing. And so we're just so thankful that Virginia is here, and we welcome you. Would you like to say a few words?
I would like to thank everybody for being so friendly, warm, and welcoming. I am glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen and Virginia. Welcome. Let's see. Well, I want to do something maybe is not proper. My husband, Jim, is in skilled nursing. They were going to try to turn the TV on at 7 o'clock tonight. And I wanted to say hi, Jim, if he's awake. So, hi, Jim. Hi, Jim. Everybody's saying hi, Jim. All right. Our program this evening, we have the volunteers from our treasure house. And we have brought some of the treasures, as you can see, the interesting selection that we have. We offer, and most of the things are for sale here, but not all of them. And we have half off the listed price on all of the crystal or near crystal that's in the treasure house. And that sale is going on for the whole month of February. Yep. So, and last month we did this pictures, frame pictures. Um, the sale ends on the 29th of February, so be sure to get there and make your selections. And we can also purchase most of our items we are displaying this evening. Not everything, but some of the items here this evening can be also purchased. So first, let me introduce our volunteers, if you'll stand up. Mike and Nancy Fitz. Yay! They moved to Atherton in December of 2020 from Phoenix. Previously, they lived in Downey, and Mike was a pastor at the First Baptist Atherton right across the street. They both started volunteering at the Treasure House about 6 months after they moved here. They help us determine how to price our donations, and Nancy likes to help clean the donations and as good as Mike on pricing. And they'll go give us more information later in the evening about how they go about pricing things. And then Georgia Shaw. Now, I like to call Georgia the best saleswoman in Alhambra because most of us are volunteering because of her, and also because when she's in the treasure house, she really is a good salesperson. So she started volunteering after the Fall Festival in 2019 with Mary Ann Thompson, who had managed the treasure house for 20 years. And then COVID forced the treasure house to close down. And during that time, it received a complete makeover. And I hope everybody's been here since it's been reopened. It is beautiful, and we just love it. So thanks to all of the volunteers and the staff of Atherton we are delighted with the new look, and we enjoy working together. Our newest volunteer is Debbie Smyser. Deb? Deb and her husband, John, served as pastors of New Hope Community Church, and they also served at the First Baptist Church of Downey. And luckily for us, they ended up in Atherton. One day, Deb was approached by the best sales lady in Alhambra, Georgia, who started to tell Deb about the treasure house. Georgia needed help on Tuesday mornings during October because she and her husband, Dan, were going to take a trip. So Deb likes to organize everything. She has just been a wonder for all of us. She organizes our cards, and she's also started to make the name tags on a lot of our items that gives a description of the item, but also a history about it. And it just makes it so much nicer. This is the gift Georgia, Mike, and Nancy have always wanted, is to make nice tags for everything. And we are now in February, and Deb is still volunteering. So we had a special volunteer for a few months in 2023, Susan Shellhammer, who passed away last year. She loved volunteering. It was also a good shopper for her husband, Dale, and we miss her a lot. So thank you, Dale. And the last of the volunteers is me, Kathy Marr. So, as a new resident, I didn't know anything about the treasure house because it was closed when I moved in here in December of 22. When they finally were able to open, COVID, the best sales lady in Alhambra asked me to volunteer, so of course I did. So when you walk into the treasure house, I sincerely hope you sense how much all of the volunteers, love to work there. We love everything that's in there. We really feel we have treasures now. So, specifically, the program tonight, Georgia is going to talk about the purpose of the treasure house, where we get items, and what happens to the funds we collect. Georgia? You're on.
Thanks, Kathy. Woo-hoo. Did you ever hear Jim say woohoo all the time, right? I thought I was going to be down there, but I'm up here. It's all right, right? Treasure House began in 1986 when a woman, we used to have her picture over there in the hallway. I didn't bring it tonight, but a wonderful woman who established it to highlight crafts that residents here were making and to sell them for funds for Atherton. So it continues as a volunteer basis. We get the products that you see here from people who have either had to downsize and move to a smaller housing here, couldn't take it with them, and their kids didn't want them, and they didn't want to store it. So they thought Treasure House could use it. And we do it very well. The money, we don't get paid. We are volunteers. And so the money goes into a fund, kind of a recycling fund for those who aren't able to meet their monthly needs here. And so that taps that supply for them. And I thought, what a way to go. Stuff we can't use anymore, stuff that we've appreciated all our lives, and yet it can go to help somebody else. So that's kind of the story there. Now I get to visit a lot around. I get around a lot here on campus, and I get to visit a lot because I am the best salesperson. And I wanted to share some of the finds that I've made, and one of them specifically is this right here. A petrified what? Yeah, it's very heavy, and it was found by one of our residents up in Escalante, Utah. Does that give you a hint? So actually, what it is, the official word is. Can you read it? Coprolites, or dinosaur dung. And that's it. And it's from anywhere from 75 million to 150 million years old. And I'm holding it in my hand. You can touch it afterwards if you want. Only touch it though. Why she collects it, I have no idea. Another one of her collections is this little dolly. It's made out of, what is it? Cast iron. And do you recognize her at all? Little Red Riding Hood. And Strawberry Shortcake was one of them. But if you look a little more, can you see the artist that did it? It's a Campbell Soup Kids. You see that? And it's really heavy. But this was made around 1920 by, I was going to have that right here so I could remember it. Hubley, back east in Pennsylvania. And they had to close down when the war started because can't use cast iron, or the war issue needed cast iron. So here, this one is, I looked it up today, kept looking it up, and some of the knockoffs you'll pay like $300 for. This one is genuine, and it's about between $1,200 and $1,500. So it's valuable.
Is it a doorstop?
It's a doorstop. Yes, thank you for that. I forgot to mention that. It's a doorstop. And then one of our other residents happens to have a whole collection of Coke cans. You go in their back door and here's this whole shelf after shelf of Coke cans, but they're from around the world. And he happened to bring me some Coke bottles, which these are vintage. And there's one from Ethiopia, and there's one from Japan, and there's one from, I saw it was from Yemen. Do you know what's happening in Yemen today? Isn't that interesting? So we have some for real bottles. Was I supposed to say anything else, guys? Oh, yes. Two more things, right? I better get that microphone to get it on. So, you see this? I've told some of you this story where when I first started working at Treasure House, this beautiful cut glass from Germany vase or bowl was there. And nobody was interested in it. We polished it all up for this to show you how beautiful it is. But about 2 months ago, we cleaned it up and we went over and put it in the skilled nursing section over there. We've got those shelves. One of the residents from here is going by. She called me up and she said, Georgia, I think you have my bowl in your glass case. So I took it over. I showed it to her. You know who she is. She just had her 99th birthday. She's an Episcopal priest. Does it ring a bell? Ellen Weckel. And you might remember Ellen got really sick. And so they moved her from her independent living into Fox. They really thought she was going to see the Lord. So they closed up her place. You know what happens when they close up your place? They get rid of everything. Somehow this bowl made it to Treasure House. And like the Lord kept it there until Ellen saw it again. So I took it over to her. When I handed it to her and she took it in her hands, you would have thought I gave her gold. And she said, my grandmother gave that to me. My grandmother from Germany gave that to me. I told you Ellen's 99, right? And she says, I'm going to use it to baptize my great-grandson next month. And I couldn't find the bowl. So it gives you an idea of how old that is. So when I gave it to her, I said, I only ask you one thing. If you would put on your vestments and hold the bowl so I could take your picture. So I've got that if you want that part of the story. Now, another thing is, you guys are all so interesting. I'll find out all of your stories before you go to glory. This quilt right here and the quilt hanger. Does anybody recognize it? Okay, I'm going to put it on the floor and then pick it up. Can you see it? The interesting part is her grandmother made it. And it's all hand-stitched. Every one of them is hand-stitched. And so when Donna got sick, and Larry was moving out of their house. And you know how husbands are sometimes. They get rid of everything. Well, he got rid of it because he asked all the kids they didn't want it. Donna wasn't well enough to say keep it. And so he said, Georgia, would you take it to Treasure House? I said, yeah. So we had it in there for a long time with the heart stand. There you see it. And nobody bought it. Well, then, Donna got feeling better. And she said, Georgia, do you still have my grandmother's quilt? I said, I do. I'll bring it back to you. So she offered for us to see it tonight. And one of the things, when Susan Shellhammer was working with us at Treasure House, she's a quilter. Excellent quilter. How long had she been quilting, Dale? And that was a long time. And she looked at it, and as you look at it, I'm just going to swing it up on you, okay? When she looked at it, she said, you'll notice some of the pattern is breaking down, and there's a certain color that's the only one in the whole thing that was breaking down. She said, that's because they didn't use cotton. They used another kind of a blend. And so if you see it, and I thought, there's no way that I'm going to try and fix that. That's part of the history. So it's that, do you know what the pattern is? Anybody? This is another skill testing question. You guys got to remember all this because you're going to get tested at the end and maybe get a prize, okay? It's called the Dresden pattern. And the Dresden China Company. Do you recognize? This is not a Dresden plate, but it was the closest thing I could get. And so it was like this, and that was what that was made out of. And this pattern was developed, I think, in 1920 and sold until 1940. So you've got an idea how old that is, too. Now, did I do it all?
I think you did.
Did I go over time, Kathy?
I don't think you did. Oh, good. We're good. All right. Okay, now, Deb, who will bring one of her, she brought a box of her cards, and so you can see how she itemized things, and she also brought the Valentine's cards that are on the table for sale. Deb?
Everybody, I'm new at this. Let me start by saying this. Yes, I was approached by the best salesperson in Alhambra to fill in for her while she and Dan were gone on their vacation. So I thought, what the heck, I will. I'd never seen the treasure house before. We're fairly new. It's been a year now already. And I walk in and I see this, just all these beautiful, beautiful things. 3 rooms just filled with all these gorgeous items. And I thought, oh, this is really nice, really, really nice. And so she walked me by a section with the cards, and they had them in boxes, all labeled, whether their birthday or a symphony, any thinking of you, thank you cards, all kinds of cards. And so what I thought I would do, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys, because we sell these cards 25 cents a piece or 5 for $1. I took them individually per section, and I've divided them into, they're subdivided now. So when you come into there and wanting to look for a card, now this is our birthday box. They're all divided. If you like animals on the front of your cards, we have an animal section. We have feminine cards, a lot of flowers, and we have some masculine cards. And then we have for kids, and then we have family cards, like your grandkids, your uncles, aunts, your brother, your sisters, and all that. So when you come into the store now and go in there, they're all divided up, and all you can do is go right to the section that you want. And so it makes it really, really easier, and I love doing that. And then the other thing is the rack. They have a rack that turns. I put a label on all of those, and they're all in there. So when you come in there, it's really easy to look for the certain card that you want. Now, you can spend more time if you want on all of the cards if you like, but that's one of the things that I've been really happy to do. We do have those Valentine cards over there. We're going to have St. Patrick's Day cards available. And then after that, we've got Easter. And then we even have graduation cards. That's coming up in June. So it's a really, really, really easy way now for you to be able to get your greeting cards in there. And the other thing that I did is some of these items up here have I had put these little place cards on them, and they do have the price on them. But also, and Mike's going to talk to you a little bit about this later, he does some research on some of these items, most all of them, and you wouldn't believe the information we get on some of our things that are donated. So we put a little bit of history so that when you come into the store and see this card, it tells you a little bit about where it came from, maybe a painting who was painted by, and you'd be amazed at the history on some of these things. Which one is this one? Oh, yes, this was donated recently, and I'll just read this for you. It's an Art Nouveau, hand-blown glass flowers with frosted glass leaves on carved and polished hardwood base. So it gives you a little bit idea. Then we do have some simple ones here on the hardwood base.
So it really describes it, puts the price on it. It just really makes everything look so much nicer.
Yeah. So through that procedure, you guys can really see how valuable some of these items are. And Michael's going to talk to you a little bit about that. One of the things that I really like is the ship on the end. We put a little bit of history. That ship came from the war, right? The Napoleonic War. Yeah, Napoleonic War. So anyway, if you get a chance, come up afterwards and you can see some of them. So eventually we're going to have all of them priced like this, but we're getting through that now. So anyway. Yeah. And I'm kind of that third person that can go in and do some of these things that the other, because we're really busy. We can be really, really busy some days. So I really enjoy going in and trying to organize it and make it really nice for you guys to come and make it easier to come and buy.
Thank you, Debbie. And it's nicer for all of us working with her too. She's just she likes to organize things, and a lot of us just don't organize things very much. Now we're going to have Mike and Nancy. They're going to talk about vintage, antique, crystal china, and explain some of this for us.
Can you hear me now? Oh, yeah, I can hear myself. I'm going to move around. I don't know. I'm beginning to feel like Monty hall. Let's make a deal. But what I wanted to show you a few things, tell you a little bit about them, and then tell you how we get the pricing and so on. How do we do the research and so on? This ship here is the HMS Victory. That was the one that Lord Nelson defeated the Napoleonic Navy at Trafalgar. You know, if you go to London, Trafalgar Square was named after the battle. But unfortunately for him, he died on the deck, and he's there right now. No, we get things from all over the place. This particular, we have a whole set of. This is from Poland. Polish. These are all hand painted. They're not printed out or transfer wear or anything like that. They're hand painted, and they're beautiful. We get things from China. This is right here. The peach stands for longevity. So he belongs here at Atherton. So we have fine crystal. Let me tell you, you can see glass. You see people. I see people at thrift stores. They'll pick up a glass and they'll rub it and make a ding like that and say, "Oh, this must be crystal." I think I told you this the last time. That's not the way you prove whether it's crystal or not. It's by the weight and by the clarity. You know, we've heard of crystal clear because what do they add to it to make it crystal? It's regular glass, but they add something to it. Lead oxide, 24% is the ideal amount, and that's why it's so heavy. And I always found it fascinating that you put metal in glass and it makes it clear. You'd think it'd go the other way. We have things from China, and we have jade. We have a piece of jade right here. The crystal, of course. Now, let me ask you a question. This is blue glass. What makes it blue? Yes, cobalt. You add cobalt to the glass, and it turns blue. So you've heard. Well, they did that on purpose. Depending upon how they do it, you can't see it from here, but with the right light, you can see it. If you want to come up afterwards, it's got bubbles in it. And the Italians, in particular, were very good about putting patterned bubbles in glass. One of the patterns, when they're in straight lines and so on, really symmetrical, they call it bullicante. Actually, I should have put that down and used my hands, because when you're Italian, you've got to use your hands. Sorry about that. This is yes. It's Jarrito? Where's Bertha? Jarrito. This is from Mexico. I love Mexican pottery because it's very colorfully painted, hand painted, but this is a Jarrito cup. And what makes it unique is that when you put water in it, the material, the clay that's in it adds flavor to the water. So you actually get, or whatever you put in it, I guess. And if you see the little red ring on the bottom, that's because it's made out of what's called terracotta. Terracotta is a more, I guess I don't want to call it crude, but if you look at sewer pipes that are that same color, it's a basic kind of clay, but it's very durable, and it's beautiful when they use it right and so on. So, yeah, we have 4 of them. This is a set. This is just an example of it. And of course, this is a lamp from the 1800s from France, and the style is called Rococo. It's a particular style of glass. Over here, this is what's called a hurricane lamp. Anybody know why it's called a hurricane lamp? That's right. It's basically, before they use electricity, it was a kerosene lamp. And the way that this is put together, it's so that if the wind blows, it doesn't blow out. The light will stay on. I think they went overboard on the name, though, because if you have a hurricane come in, the lamp, the house, and everything else is going to go. But yeah, this is, first, this is, I don't know if you can see this. This is called a pinch vase. It's where they make the clay and they actually pinch it. It's easier to hold on to. And so you can hold it like so. And this is about 130 years old, made in England, about 1890, somewhere in the 1890s. And it's an interesting color. I don't know if you can see the blue. It's called flow blue. And what flow blue is, it was an accident that they discovered it in the 1830s. They were making blue patterns, very detailed patterns on plates and so on. Somebody left it on too long before they ran it in the oven, and it kind of started flowing. But they found out people liked it, and now people around the world collect flow blue pottery, or not porcelain. Right, right. In fact, this pattern is called Paris. It's called Paris. It was made in England. Uh-oh, I didn't do that. Is that an Amber Alert? Okay. Oh, oh. Yeah, if you look carefully, you can see how the blue actually comes through the porcelain. Now, let me ask you a quick question. We don't have an example of that here. You have china, and then you have bone china. What's the difference? And which one's more desirable? Bone china. And why do they call it bone china? They get bone and they grind it up and they put it into the porcelain, the clay, and it actually makes it stronger and you can make it thinner. And the way you tell it from the other type of china is you hold it up to the light and it's translucent. But it's actually, and people think it's very delicate, but it's actually really tough. It doesn't break easily. And it's much lighter also. This is from Peru, and it's a candle holder. You can see it in the back, the place to put the candle. And it's an angel with a guitar. And it's part of the folk art of Peru. Peru comes out with some really beautiful pottery. One more. Okay. One more. This is an interesting one. This is one I found at the thrift store. It's called a puzzle mug. And why do they call it a puzzle mug? Let me tell you the story about this. If you look closely, it's kind of hard. I meant to bring a flashlight. It has holes around the rim. What they used to do is at the pubs or wherever they were drinking and so on, they would hand this to somebody and they would start to drink if they just held the handle, and it would pour out all over them. However, there's a way to get around that, and on the inside is a hole that leads into the handle, comes up to the rim, and there's holes there, so you can use it like a straw. They have to suck it through that. So, but they would do it as a gag for people. So it's called a puzzle mug. And our final, pardon? Oh, this lady here is from Hungary. And somebody gave it to us at the treasure house. And it has a distinct design to it. You can actually begin to tell the different styles. Pardon? Hungarian, yeah. Did I say yeah. Hungarian, I'm sorry. It has a distinct style in the way that the native dress is and so on. Now, these two pieces of crystal, if you look at the pattern there, it's like a scallop shell, and that's a particular pattern. There are actually, you can research the different patterns because they would tend to use certain ones. Another one that was popular in the 1890s to about 1920 was pineapple. It looks like a pineapple. There's a pattern in it. How we do the research is primarily by using our phones. Believe it or not, it's the easiest way. I mean, you could use books too and so on and so forth. But Google Camera is an application you can get. It's free. And what you can do is hold it up and take a picture of something, and it will tell you what the item is, generally. It will also tell you what they're selling for, so you can get an idea of the price. Another one is replacement.com. It's also on your phone, and you can hold it up to a pattern of anything, particularly modern ceramics, but even back to really old ceramics. It can tell you who made it, probably when it was made, what years it was made, and what the name of the pattern is. And then there's also eBay. If you go to eBay, I found out something recently looking at YouTube channels on that, and it actually has a thing where you can hold it up, take a picture of something, it'll tell you what it is, what they're going for on eBay, but you can slip it over and it'll do the barcode. If you have a barcode on anything, you hold it up to that, and it'll immediately tell you that particular item and what they're selling for on eBay. So there's just a lot of different ways to do the research. And the other thing is just to watch some of the YouTube channels. Let's see, is there anything else here? Oh, that brings up another question. Should I ask the question now? You see, I've been throwing a few clues in there. I don't know if you were aware of it. Pardon? How about this is an art. This is an art, kind of an Art Nouveau style. There's also, let's see, Art Nouveau. What makes Art Nouveau? The style. It was a style that was popular probably starting in the 1890s to about 1910, 1920. If you know, Louis Comfort Tiffany made a lot of beautiful things, and he used Art Nouveau as a style in all of his stuff, in his different things, from pottery to glass to whatever. It's organic in design, has smooth lines to it, and there's another one's called Art Deco. Some of you might, if you can, ever seen a picture of the top of the Chrysler Building in New York? That's Art Deco. Art Deco tends to have straight lines, geometric shapes to it. That was more popular probably in the first part of the 20th century, up till about 1920, 1930, and so on. Both of those styles are very popular now. If you can find an item that's made in either Art Nouveau or Art Deco, they sell very well. And let's see. Oh, anybody have any questions? Now, oh, that? It's actually a, oh yeah, this is a company called Blinko. Blinko they still make glass. They're in West Virginia. West Virginia used to be one of the capitals of glass making in the U.S. If you've ever seen Fenton glass, Fenton, Fenton glass was all made in West Virginia. And there's several other ones. This is particular, it's just for a candle. You could actually have oil with a wick in it. It can be used for a variety of things like that. Or you can actually use as put plants in it or something like that. A lot of these have multiple uses. The people are very clever about using artwork in a variety of different ways. But that's just kind of a sampling of what we got. We have a lot more over there if you come over, and we're trying to identify all of them, what their value is, and when the value that we put on it is not eBay price or retail price. We bring it down to, well, hopefully, yeah, Atherton price, hopefully thrift store price. When you can go into a thrift store and buy something for $5 and it's worth $50, you feel pretty good about it. Well, that's what we try to do here. We try to keep the prices reasonable so that you can afford them. And so you can come in and we like to haggle too. So if you don't like the price or you see three things, talk to us. It's fun, huh? Yeah. Only watch out, because when you're dealing with her, the price may start going up. Right. No, yeah. What you might be alluding to is if you come in finely dressed with lots of jewelry, we jack the price way up. No, we don't do that. We don't do that. We're honest about our prices. Yes.
You're open to not only our friends,
Mhm.
but are you open to outside people?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Do you get dealers?
Not yet.
I don't know if we ever have yet. I'm sure we have in the past.
Not since COVID.
Not since COVID. I think before COVID, they used to get dealers in. That's fine.
And I think this fall we're going to have a sale like they used to with all the stores. Fall festival.
Fall festival. Are we going to do that?
I
No.
think Crystal's been talking about.
Oh, good. Yeah, and hopefully we'll get more people from the outside coming in too.
So, Mike, we're going to have Deb and Georgia ask the questions. Oh, did you have questions? No. Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to talk to them. Yeah. Are you asking questions? Okay, then. Somebody want a mic?
Oh, they're praying right now.
Yeah.
Get what she's talking into.
I know.
She's ready to buy.
She needs the questions. You could read the questions and
I don't even have them here. Here.
because I didn't.
Oh, we just have to have three.
Okay, before we start,
We've got some questions here for you, and we have some prizes to go with the questions. Okay. So I just wanted to tell you what we got. If you haven't been up here to look, here's a little candle holder in the middle. It's red, Valentine's Day. We have this one. I happen to have a label on it. It's a vintage Indiana carnival glass marigold divided relish dish.
And notice it has feet. That's what people are really interested in too, because it lifts it off the table.
Use your microphone.
It has feet.
We have a little kitty cat, clear. Okay. You
It looks great with a light under it.
I don't have a light.
Nope.
Okay. And here's a little box. I don't know if you've seen some of the figurines that have this character on it. So the top, yeah, we have that.
Makes great gift. Makes a great gift.
And then we have a heart contain. It's a heart shaped, like candy dish. Is it a candy dish? Whatever. Could be a jewelry box if you want.
Or a jewelry box, yeah.
We have a picture here, and we have a flower, little flower vase. And we have a little love box. It's got a little. Oh, there we go. Little love box. And then we have like a little pumpkin dish bowl. Here it goes. It's from Gail. No. Oh, I don't have my glasses.
It's from Italy, you guys. Look at this.
She's a salesperson, you guys. Here's the one.
It's oven proof, made in Italy, Italica or something like that. Anyway, see the pumpkin? It's beautiful. You could win this if you know the answer.
So
to
if
the
you get it
question.
right, you get to come up and pick. And if you tell me what you want, I'll bring it back to you.
I was just gonna say, how are you gonna?
Divvy them up. There, if whoever answers the first question gets first choice, is that the way this goes?
Yes.
Okay.
If nobody answers it, we'll go to the second question.
Okay.
Okay. The first question is, what is the year range for vintage articles? You got to raise your hand. Vintage articles. Yes.
25 years?
Age range.
Range.
Let's give them 3 tries.
3 tries.
Okay.
3 tries.
You got 2 more people here that think.
Okay. Bertha.
I didn't hear what she said.
Oh, she said 25 to 50.
100?
No.
Nope.
So you know what it is? You get your choice of.
What would you
Who
like,
would have
Sean?
guessed it would
Come up
be
and get
Sean?
something.
We can't take this. Why not? That's a keeper. You get your choice. You got a girlfriend. You got a mother. You got a. Oh, you do. She would probably love this.
It's a heart shape. Yeah. Put some candy.
Okay.
Put some chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Chocolate.
Okay. The answer was the year range is from 20 years to 99 years. And what's that for? Vintage, yes. So if people try to tell you,
Not an antique. Antique's older.
yeah, yeah. Okay, the next one, this one, you ought to get this one. What's the age range for antique? And none of us qualify, okay?
You got somebody back here. Back there.
Judy, no, oh, I'm sorry, Patty. Yep,
So what would you like?
What'd she say?
100 years or more. Oh,
Here.
we'll bring it to you.
All right.
Okay, now, I know we're all old here, and our memory is going, and we're hard of hearing, so just, we might help you on some of these. What is the difference between glass and crystal? Oh, Betsy. And how much lead oxide is it? 24%. Very good. Bets, what do you want? You got to come and pick your poison.
Here's a bag.
Okay, you heard that right. Crystal is 24% lead oxide. And you know the saying, crystal clear as crystal. If you were to compare this with that cat down there, you would see the difference between crystal and glass. Thanks, Bets. Oh,
Now, why did you take this out?
No. Listen, I like this one. This one sounds like a church bell.
yeah.
Huh.
And if you've got liquid in it above a certain amount, it won't ring. That's what I learned from Kathy. Okay, let's see. What's another one here? Are you still wanting to win stuff? You ought to get this one. What's the difference between china and bone china? Yes.
Oh, Mike said that.
There's bone in it. Yes. And they grind it really because it makes it what? Translucent. Okay, Annette, you get a gift. Come up and get a gift. Did everybody hear the answer?
No.
You should have all known that, right? Bone china has bone in it, which makes it lighter and stronger, more durable. So what do you want? Do you want the regular china or do you want the bone china? Bone china, exactly. Let's see. And I want you to know that you all can fill out a form over here to volunteer at Treasure House. And you can leave your check number if you want to buy something tonight. You don't have any money with you. No. Let's see, what else? Are we still going? Okay. Did we say this? Anything about silver? No, we're skipping that question then.
Go ahead, ask.
What is the name for what's that old animal? Dinosaur dung. Coca-Cola? No, that was the bottles. Coprolite. You're right. You get yours. What do you want? Just tell us.
Pumpkin dish.
Oh,
Is that cute?
Hmm.
And I'll sell it.
okay. Here's one. You ready? Where does Limoges porcelain come from? Yes, France. And I know what she wants. What?
you, dear.
Here, another bag.
It was. You can't have it. I'm sorry. Her grandson took all her other ones, and it was the only one left. She's not giving up her dinosaur dung. I call it poop, but you know it's rude. Are we going to do them all?
How many? You got one
I
left?
think I'm out of questions.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm out of questions.
you're out of questions? But we have one more thing?
We got 3.
3 more things? Okay. Well,
You think of something you
Mike
got
and
there
Nancy,
tomorrow?
you want to ask some questions?
Yeah.
Their questions are going to be a little bit tougher,
Simple ones?
or maybe a couple of simple
Well,
ones.
because we got 3 simple out.
Yeah, we have some simple ones and then some harder things. We have some little more expensive gifts for the harder questions.
Oh, yeah, did you see these? Just look at those, and those are crystal, you see how crystal clear it is? And it says right on, Villeroy and Bond. No, Villeroy. Villeroy and Bond.
So I can ask
Just ask the,
Okay.
Just a simple.
I think that's simple.
Okay.
Okay, what is Waterford known for and where is it? What country? Crystal. And where is it?
Yes.
What country is Waterford?
That's close.
Yep,
So should we split it between the two?
sure. Give them both a credit. Come on up
You want to
and
come get something or?
Did she get all the choices? Or is that a hard one?
That was an easy one. Looked around the
no.
This is Indiana Carnival class.
We have these unless you want to do this. Okay, one more of the easy.
Okay, this is a kitty. Who's got
Kitty
cats?
cat.
How much pure silver is in sterling silver? We didn't tell you that. You'll have to get that on your own.
Pure silver is
Pardon?
92%.
Well, that's pretty close. It's 0.925.
Okay, Jackie, we'll take it.
0.925.
Kitty, you want the kitty cat or the
Yes, she
animal?
does.
Yay. Okay. So now
Last two. What was the answer? 92%. What's the real answer?
0.925.
92.5%.
Very close.
Okay, so
You want to try the, which is the oldest?
yeah. Okay. This, yeah.
These are two
Yeah.
copper ones.
Mike talked to you a few minutes ago about Art Deco and Art Nouveau. So the question is, which one of those is the oldest?
No, Nouveau means new, doesn't
It does, but it is. So you,
it? No, she can't win two.
ah,
Who's gonna give it to
who else? Somebody else answered. Who?
Who else answered that? Diane, did you? So you either got the candlesticks
Or the vase?
Isn't that basket just pretty? Now, don't you wish you knew the answer?
Oh. Yay.
Last question.
The last one, and that's would be for these crystal candlesticks. So this has to be a good one, Mike.
Well, if you want to make it really hard, say about what is transferware and how you do it.
Okay. We only mentioned transferware earlier, but we're going to ask you what is transferware? And it has to do with pottery or even, yeah, china.
Transfer.
It's,
You got somebody raising their hand.
oh, yes.
Well, my place is not Courier Eyes is transferred because
That's a type of.
Right. You win the candlesticks. They take a pattern. Yeah.
Yeah, the way you make transferware is you take a sheet of copper and you etch in it, cut through little holes and so on in it to make a pattern. Then we put it on paper, and then you put ink on that or whatever colors they want to use. Then you take that paper and you then put it on the pottery before it goes in the oven. You take it off. You take the pattern and put the pattern on, not the paper too. You just place it down and then pull it off, and the pattern's there, and then they run it through the oven and bake it in. So they transfer it. That's where the transferware comes from. There you go.
Ask if anybody wants to buy a Bible. Oh, you didn't talk about Bible. It's at 1893. 1893 Bible, American Bible Society.
It's a little loose, a little loose.
King James. Oh, yeah, always. Old and New Testament.
Old and New Testament. And would anybody like it? I have a really hard time selling God's word. But this is so valuable, I think it would go on your nightstand. Read it at night. Yeah? You want it? Oh, she has a few Bibles. No, anybody interested? It just needs a home. And if you want to volunteer at the treasure house, we're taking applications. Or if you want to donate some of your things that are bothering you that want to get new ones. How much? How much would you pay for it? Oh, she's got $15 in her wallet. Anybody got 20? American Bible Society. Yeah.
You have a final gift to give away.
Oh, come on, Cat. What's your name? Nancy. Okay, we have something special. Okay, she's gonna pay. Yeah, it's in my pocket now. Okay, we've had this guy. He's been holding the door open, and we just love him. And he's a fisherman, and he's famous. He has a wife that goes with him. You see this? Yeah, so here we go. We're going back here. Now just kind of walk with us here. Okay? Isn't he gorgeous? I love him, but somebody's tired of him in the treasure house. So we're going to gift him tonight to Daryl, our local fisherman. It does look just like you. It's even got fish in the basket. Yeah, use it for an anchor. Oh, where's his wife? Oh, you're gonna do it.
So Helen Gray is going to give us a closing prayer for our meeting.
She's gonna pray for 4 minutes.
Please come and visit it. You're open Tuesdays.
Wait just a moment. Is this a Baptist meeting? We haven't taken an offering.
I just got an offering. Look at
Oh.
Let's take the offering.
Go ahead.
Lord Jesus, we've had a good time tonight. Thank you that we can come and laugh and have a good time. Bless all of these wonderful people. Thank you that Treasure House has been represented so well. And Lord, help us to be stimulated to go and visit them and look around. And now, Lord, you just bless us. Thank you, Lord, for Atherton. Thank you for this opportunity to gather and to just praise your name. And we thank you, Lord, that you are with us and you'll guide us. So thank you and we praise you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Hey.